Here is my $1.3 million a year no-code AI business. And today, I'm going to show you how I build no-code AI tools to make money online live. No fluff, no filler, just me showing you exactly what you need to do to start making money. But first, a warning. This is not for the lazy. It's not for the people where you have a short attention span and you don't like the way I talk or think I talk too long. Yeah, this isn't about me. It's about you. So if you want to make money online, listen up. I've been doing this business for over 25 years. I've made money in SEO with software tools and all kinds of different things. And for several years, I've actually taught people how to make money online as well. And I gotta tell you, in over 25 years, I have never seen an opportunity as big as the one I'm going to share with you today. And I'm not just gonna share it with you. I'm gonna show you how to do it start to finish with nothing left out, so that at the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do. You might need to watch it a few times. Of course, that's for the serious people who actually want to make this work, because what you're about to learn works, and it works fast. To put it bluntly, I could hardly sleep last night. We stumbled on this method yesterday on a webinar, and I was literally blown away. Things that used to take me years or were seemingly impossible or too expensive now could be done for a fraction of the cost and complete in minutes. This is super powerful. I'm going to say it again. In my 25 years of making money online, this is quite simply the biggest opportunity. And it's also time sensitive. So the faster you watch this entire video, implement what I say, and set up your business, the better chance you have of making it work. So my question to you is, are you ready? Are you ready to cut past all the fluff and junk that waste your time? Are you ready to do something simple that you can go and promote right now and start making money? Are you ready to get past info overload and niche marketing and endless content creation, faceless videos, Shopify, and all this stuff designed to keep your attention and hard-earned money while you get nothing? Well, today, I'm flipping the script, and the gurus are not going to be happy. In this video, I'm not going to ask you for a penny. In fact, I'm even going to give you some free tools and templates. That's right. You don't need to go buy high-level ClickFunnels or any other expensive software. You don't need to pay me anything, unless, of course, you like what you see and you want to work with me, but that's for another time. Right now, it's about you. So are you ready to do what it takes? If you said yes, smash a like button, because what you're about to learn is not limited by the amount of money you have, how smart you are, or how great of an imagination you have. This is a step-by-step process that you can use to get traffic and make money. So follow this training carefully. We're actually going to set it up live, so you can ask questions right here, and you can even learn from the questions other people ask. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, you found it. This is the real deal. And if you're ready to put everything aside and start getting results, let me know as a comment below. Come on, let's go to work. All right, everyone, welcome to the show. We got a lot to cover today. This, again, I can't stress as much as I need to, which is this is the biggest opportunity I've ever seen in the world of making money. Now, as you can see, we got a different screen and a different setup today, which means we are going to set this thing up live. We're going to show you exactly how this works. We're going to show you the power behind it. Now, before we get started, we have to talk about the disclaimer and the ethics. As you guys know, I've been doing this for a long time. I've made millions of dollars online. Lots of people have made millions of dollars online. However, the vast majority of people trying to make money online, watching videos and trying to do stuff online, make nothing. So, what can you expect? Nothing, except you can expect on this call the real deal, the real information of how this works. Now, what you do with it is up to you, and we need to make sure that we keep our ethics in line when dealing with AI. Obviously, AI gets into a lot of gray areas and some darker areas and things like that, which what we're going to do is make simple little tools that make us money. If you're interested in that, let me know by smashing the like button, and we're going to go ahead and dive in. But definitely keep that top of mind. Don't expect that at the end of this video you're gonna be rich, because you won't. This is just going to teach you stuff. It's very important to understand where we're going, and I believe that everyone watching these videos that is really in it to win it, that pay attention to the stuff that I talk about, you understand what's going on. You understand that this is an actual business. Now, what we're going to look at here is the AI tools market. We are going to look at Gemini API. Just yesterday, I was on a webinar with my paid members of the AI Profit Scoop membership, and we were talking about something, and I was redesigning a guy's site for him, and I accidentally stumbled on the ability to make Gemini actually create stuff with its own API. We're going to talk about what an API is in a minute. We're going to talk about how all this stuff fits in, because this is a game changer. Imagine for a minute, tell me if you think this would change your ability to make money online. If you were able to create your own AI tools in an afternoon, say an image generator, say something that taps in and actually creates an article for people. Say you have something very, very specific. This is important because if you can create these tools, you are going to tap into a giant market. And using Gemini API, which in my opinion, I know a lot of people differ in opinion, I think that Google Gemini is the best programming tool out there today for the type of stuff that we're talking about here. Now, Bolt AI might work better for certain things, but Gemini is the only thing that I found so far that can actually make tools with AI embedded. Let me show you what I mean, and you tell me if you like this. You guys ready for a really cool demo? Once I show you this demo, I think you're going to see how I'm going to be able to make money with this demo in a very cool way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to a WordPress site, and I want to show you a tool that was 100% coded with Gemini. This thing is unlike anything else. As you guys have seen before, we have lots of different WordPress plugins. If you look over here, I coded this little WordPress theme plugin that allows you to change your background and your image and everything like that. Now, these types of plugins have made me a lot of money. Note, this isn't just about plugins. We're going to talk about tools and software as a service and running a full business. Now, this tool is really good. It works. People use it right now. It has made me money. However, it's very one-sided. There is no AI embedded in it. Now, when we look at something like this here, where you have the Gemini Content Assistant, this is where the game starts to change. If you would want AI embedded in your blog telling you what to do to build content to make money and actually building the content and helping you make money, how many of you guys would use that? Say something like, I would use it, or something like that, right? Let me know, type plugin or something like that to let us know. Because if you understand what's going on here, you're going to understand the power of how this works. If I was to go here and do all post or new post or something like that, you're going to see that inside this WordPress, this is something I made last night, finalized it a couple hours ago. There was a lot of back and forth with AI. There were some errors and different things like that, which is why I said this isn't for the lazy. Like if you're going there and you're going to go to Gemini and you say, hey, make me money, and you figure out that doesn't work, this is the next best thing. Understanding this is super, super key. Now, when we go in here, I could go in and say car price calculator, or something like this, calculator. All right, I'm going to try to spell and be on live stream at the same time. Now, when we go through here, what you're going to see is not only is this a plugin to help you, it also writes content. So I can go in here and say car price calculator, right, like this, and hit generate and insert content. This actually talks to the Gemini API and throws content in here for you. Check this out. This is amazing. Trevor says, you and Alina got me hooked on automation. Yes, the automation stuff that we have and the code tools that she's been working on, I'm actually working on getting her up to speed with these API tools as well. But look at that. Click of a button, it automatically analyzes the search intent. What is the intent behind the keyword? It automatically writes the article based on everything I gave it. So this is like, we made a video a couple of months ago. It's on my website. I don't think it's here on the channel anymore, but we have it on my website. That video was about making a custom GPT, where you go into ChatGPT and you make what's called a custom GPT like these here. One of these custom GPTs a student of mine made. Disclaimer, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. While he made money, most people make nothing. He made a custom GPT. He didn't even have his own website. He just loaded it on there. He got over 100,000 views, and I think he was averaging like $1,000 a month or something like that, which is really cool. So understanding that and knowing, oh, wait a minute, So that's a custom GPT, which is on the ChatGPT site. Okay, the benefit is I get free traffic, but now we're able to make stuff on our own site, on our own control. The difference is those 100,000 people using it here, right? They just use it in ChatGPT and they say this is cute, whatever. Now they're going to be on your site using it, and 100,000 people on your site is worth a lot more money. Okay, this is super important. This is game-changing stuff for those that are willing to pay attention. Now, a lot of people won't want to do this. A lot of people are going to be like, well, you know, I'd rather go find a way to make money in 5 minutes. Good luck with that. This is for people that are in it to win it, who are like, I'm willing to do the work, I'm willing to look at data and understand what's going on. Now, that made money. This makes money. Understanding, okay, wait a minute, so now I have this WordPress plugin. How many of you guys right now, you're like, yeah, I'd probably pay for that plugin. Type buy plugin if you're like, yeah, I would buy that. Don't worry, I'm going to show you where to get this plugin free at the end of the call. That way you could use it as a test. When I said this is a game changer, this is going to change the way you make money online, I mean it. This is the real deal. This is something anyone can do if you're willing to do the work, you're willing to go in there, figure out what errors it has, and figure out how to fix it, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. Now, not only does it allow you to create content like that, which is automatic, right? Then you just go in and edit it, very simple. But it also goes through and it does the things that I want the content to do. So one, hey, how do I make money with this content? Well, let's click monetization, see what comes up here. This is a plugin I could probably easily charge $100 for, and it was made in a day. Less than 24 hours I made this plugin. Now, we could see here, it automatically reads the content. Okay, so even if you're on a post that it didn't write, you just put this on a blog with 1,000 posts, you click monetize, it shows you how to make money with your site. Premium car report memberships, you got lead generation for auto loan, all kinds of different things like this, which is crazy, okay? Next, how about a content strategy? Well, let's click this, get a little content strategy, see where we can go with this. Also, it has advice on how to rank, all kinds of things. How many of you guys are like, dude, this plugin looks like it took months to build? Literally less than 24 hours. If you know what to ask the AI, which I am going to show you, this is going to be a long training. Sit back, relax, get your notepad ready. We're going to be here at least 2 hours. I'm going to show you how all this works step by step so that you can duplicate it. Also, we have tool suggestions. One of the things that we do on our sites is we create tools. So this is a car price website. We would go in and make, car price calculators and stuff like that. And we click here, it'll tell us the tools to make. All the while, what's happening behind the scenes is actually talking to Gemini and getting that data from AI directly. So this is custom stuff as opposed to like formatted, templated things, okay? Someone says, can it work on Google Sites? I'm not sure. I don't know what type of hosting that is. I am going to recommend that you get your own host and your own domain name. You'll see why in a minute. And we'll go over how that works. So now it tells me different tools we can make. Then it'll go through and it'll actually evaluate it and give you different ranking advice. So looking at this is really cool, and it helps you go step by step, line by line, using AI to get that data there. Now, before we go any further, I want to talk to you about two different things. There are two ways that you can run this, and I'll get my notepad open here. There's two ways you can run this. As we know, API, which we'll get into in a minute, can cost money, okay? So if you have a Gemini subscription, most of the stuff can be done with a free subscription. However, if you have 100,000 people using it, there is a little charge. Now, I find that it's not huge, right? It's usually pretty small unless they're doing detailed stuff like making videos. However, on a tool like this, I actually have a spot where they can enter their own API and use their own. Okay, so if you wanted to do this where you're not on the hook for whatever they generate, you just tell them to pop in their API, bada bing, bada boom, there they go. So now that we understand this, how many of you guys are like, okay, if I could make a plugin like that, I think I could make some money. I think this would be pretty cool. Now, looking at this, we are seeing that the AI tools market, what does this mean? This means specific AI tools that do specific tasks. Very important. This market is projecting to be $400 billion this year alone. We can see that it's also growing and growing and growing. I think some projections are saying $1 trillion by the end of the decade. It's only 5 short years away. $1 trillion is a lot of money. Now, unless you're Elon Musk, then it's just merely half of his net worth. But at any rate, look here, he has half of that or something like that, right? But at any rate, let's take a look at what this works and why. Why does this work? How do we understand this? And how do we build something that we can make money? All right? First of all, let's understand what an API is. An API is computer talk for it's going to talk to a different app, right? So if you have ChatGPT, behind the scenes there's an API, which is like how it works, okay? Your tool can talk to that API with a code, so you just put a code in, and boom, there it goes. So think of an API as a digital waiter between two apps. It's coming in with the tray. And you go and you say, hey, I want Gemini to write ad copy. API sends your request. So what's happening here, in this plugin, there's an API that says, hey, here's Marcus's instructions for writing an article. You don't even need to know it. It's in the background. Here's the prompt the guy gave you, here's the website, here's the API, boom, it talks to it and sends it back, right? Understanding that is absolutely key because now an entire new world is opened up. You are literally only limited by your imagination. You can make whatever you want. Now, before doing this training, I actually went through and looked up some keywords related to some popular AI apps. Okay, so here's some. You have some big ones like Grammarly. Obviously, that's a big one, which, by the way, they got an API as well. We have Midjourney AI art generator, which is a generic term, background remover. You have all different stuff here. Now, I want you to take a look at the number of global search volume. What this means is we now have 36 million people searching for all these. Now, but wait, there's more. We also have over here some of the different things that these tools do. Okay? The things they do, 5.6 million. So like remove background, upscale image, remove objects, enhance images. And this is just 10, right? We have a list of 250, which I will have over at aiprofitscoop.com or downloadmynotes.com. We'll have it on both sites in case you find one and not the other. But understanding this is absolutely key, right? Starting to understand, okay, I can make a tool that talks to anything. A real-world analogy of how this works. Think about ordering food through Uber Eats, which I do more often than I'd like to admit. But at any rate, you have your app or your site. So you go to Uber Eats and you order the stuff. The app is the API, the restaurant is the service, and then the food is the AI content. So starting to understand this is key. Now, technical definition is API is a set of rules that lets different software systems talk to each other. That's all it is. Very simple. Now, why do we care? This automates repetitive tasks, allows you to build custom tools. The tools market is where it's at. If you understand that, there's so much money there, it's not even funny. Scale content generation fast, all kinds of things like that. Now, looking at this, you can take a look at different APIs that you already use. There's Google APIs, there's weather APIs, Stripe, PayPal, Checkout, all kinds of APIs that are out there that are being used. Many popular tools like Ahrefs or other keyword tools are relying on APIs. They're just fancy APIs. I was just watching a guy earlier, scaled his business in less than a year to like $1 million a year, 100 grand a month, and it was based on an API that creates videos. In video, they don't, as far as I know, they don't have their own AI generator. They're using an API. They're making lots of money. Now, those are extreme big examples. What I'm going to show you is how to start small. Because if you can start small, build something, that will build and grow. Like the guy who did the custom GPT, made $1,000 a month. That's a starting point. A lot of people think about it and they're like, oh, well, $1,000 a month, what am I going to do? You know, pay half a grocery cart or whatever, right? Things are pretty expensive now. But what you need to understand is $100,000 a month is just 100 of those. So if he made 100 of them, there you go. What he doesn't also understand is the fact that sometimes one of them will do 10, 20, $50,000 or $100,000 a month on its own. Now again, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. The vast majority of people make nothing. You have to understand this is a business. When you're watching videos out there where they're talking about make money the lazy way, yeah, that stuff most often than not does not work. It's just wasting your time. This is a real business. If you're in it to win it and you want a real business, type real business in the box because that's what we're going to show you. Now, some of the examples that I went through, you guys might have seen last week we were working on several different tools like our Pinterest clicks calculator, our AI keyword content strategy tool, and different things like this. And what I wanted is I wanted to have a tool where people could download keyword strategies. Like let's say they go here and they get a keyword strategy like this and they put it into their tool, right? They could go through, like we had one for AppSumo and stuff like that. They could go through and they could put this into the tool. Let me get you an example here and I'll show you exactly how this works. So we'll just go over here and we'll use, let's see, Ahrefs. Let's do a new one. And we'll do explainer video production. This is a site that I'm working on. You guys can see I work on this stuff all the time. This is what I do for a living. And you can see that it's actually picking up rankings, getting traffic, and the volume is going up pretty good. So what I would do in the case of, like, let's say this was a site I was building for a client or one I wanted to do for myself or whatever. What I would do is I would take this list and I would want to extract the keywords and get the content strategy. Okay, very important. So looking at this, I would just copy it here. And the idea of this tool, tell me if this would be helpful, because if you think it would be helpful, I think you're gonna really dig the rest of this training. What we do is we put in the keywords here. We can extract the titles and URLs or just the titles, right? And it'll go through and it'll have all the titles there. Then what happens is we would have a prompt. So the old version, I believe, let me see if I can find the old version here, because I want to show you guys the differences. So the old version was keyword extractor or I think it was keyword extractor. So the keyword extractor was the exact old version. So it looks like this, keyword extractor .php. So this is what we call the static version. Okay, so the static version, we would put the codes in here. So let's get our stuff. So we put the stuff in here like this, and the static version would just strip these out, and then it would generate a prompt that you could do to generate pins. Okay, so you generate pins, you generate all these other things, and it would help you out. And it was a very helpful tool. We have lots of people using it. They love it. Now, you could go and you can take this to ChatGPT and you could get the Pinterest ideas. Now, I wanted to take it a step further and I wanted AI to be involved so that they don't have to go to ChatGPT. They never leave my site. Boom, I now have something that keeps them there. This is the first big lesson of business, is if I can keep them on my site and they're doing something specific, then I can make money, or I can even charge for this, or I can make several tools and charge a monthly membership for those tools. That's what I do at AIProfitScoop.com. I do it all the time. Now, with this, what we did is we tied this into the API. Now, if you're thinking, well, I don't know how to do that, well, good, because neither do I. Luckily, Gemini did that for me. So what I'm doing is now it takes the keywords, and you say, hey, I want 25 Pinterest pins. It'll actually go to the AI, that's why it spins, and then it'll go through and get you that list. Or you could do article titles, whatever it is you want. So what's happening is now we're having tools that are talking to AI, utilizing AI with the API. Okay, does that make sense? Do you guys get the difference between, oh, here's a tool that strips out keywords and maybe makes something like a list, or here's something where it's taking your list of keywords, giving it to AI, getting a much different output. Does that make sense? Smash the like button if it does. Basically what happens here is now we can get instant results, we keep them on our page, and we can call the shots and make money however we want. The idea is we can make whatever we want. take a look at this. Just showing you the power of this. I actually went through and I'm like, okay, let's put this to the test. Can I actually create an image? Can I have it go in the blog and say, hey, I read your blog post. Here's an infographic for Pinterest. It can. Check it out. Boom. Generate. Okay, post content is empty. So you would have to go in and reload this. I think, let's see. I had it working a minute ago. Like I said, sometimes you do get bugs. That's part of the deal. Maybe you have to post it. Yeah, I think maybe we have to post it first. Let's see. Where's the post button? Let's see. Publish. Might have timed it out. But yeah, what you would do is you generate an infographic. I think I have a demo over on this one where we generated this infographic based on how to buy a car with 0 down or something like that, and it actually creates it for you, which is cool. Now, we're working on making it better. Obviously, this was the first pass. I would say all in all, I probably spent about 2.5 hours making this. How many of you guys, if you could spend 2.5 hours to make something like this specific, you'd be like, oh, now I get it. Now I get how business works. Now I could go and I can make one for dentists. Now I can go and make one for limousine company owners who use blogs. Now I can make one for this person, that person, or the other person. And when you look at the size of the WordPress market, it is absolutely ginormous. Also, there's not a lot of tools in WordPress that talk to AI. So, like I said, this is a time-sensitive business. Those who listen up, those who watch this video numerous times, implement, are going to be the ones that have a better shot of making it work, because this is something where the more it's out there, the more people are going to get in. Early adopters, yes, there is a benefit to being an early adopter here. Now, going through and looking at this, we can make tools and things based on whatever we want and tie them into AI through the API. Now, here are the basic steps to create and sell an AI marketing tool. Again, think about this. You could be in business with an AI-powered tool today, right? Unless you're in some country where it's almost midnight, but you could probably be in business today. Understanding that, all we have to do is step 1, find tool ideas and validate demand. Over at AIProfitScoop.com, I will have a list of a bunch of tools. The way that I find them is by going to things like AppSumo, find out, okay, what is it that's selling? What is it that's working good? I could go to WordPress.org or WordPress or whatever. I think it's WordPress.org/plugins, and you will see all the plugins they have. So it's literally a matter of like, okay, can I go in here? Can I look at the plugins they have? And can I AI enable them? Right? So I would just go in here, look at the traffic. Okay, so you have like a font plugin. Okay, could I make a font plugin better with AI? Translate. Oh, cool. Yeah, I could totally make that better with AI. Right? So I'd just go in and start building it. So what I would do is first prove the concept. So you have like SEO. You want to knock those out of the park? There's lots of people with SEO plugins. All I would have to do is go and build that, and I'm going to show you how in a minute. We're actually going to set them up live. Daniel says, do I need to be an expert in WordPress? You do not. You need to be an expert in following specific instructions. That's all you need to be. I'm good with WordPress. I'm not an expert. Like I screw things up all the time. It's just, I try too many things. That's probably the issue. But I'm not an expert, so you don't need to be. What we're going to do is we are going to major in the small things. We're going to do one thing really, 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 really well. Most people are going to go out there and they're going to try to make some gigantic, huge AI tool. That's not what we need. The people who made Yoast SEO, I'm pretty sure they made millions off that plugin. What is it? It's a WordPress plugin. So could I go through and tie this into AI? And guess what? Like right now, people buy AI stuff like it's going out of style. Literally, Google's like, hey, here's a new AI. What's it do? I don't know. Go buy it. And they spend thousands of dollars on it, or hundreds, or 10, or 15, or whatever. And you don't need that many people to give you $15 a month to make a good living. Starting to understand that is absolutely key. Now, where are we going to look? We're going to look on AppSumo, Product Hunt, Software as a Service directories, and we're going to look for things that we can do. Or think about fun stuff, Just earlier, we were creating a love letter generator, and that one was a static one. We are going to offer a service here to our clients where we actually make AI-enabled ones as well. And understanding, okay, can I make that work? Well, there's lots of offers on ClickBank for how to text your girlfriend and make her fall in love or whatever. All kinds of like romance offers and things like that that we can lead to with our product. The goal is make a cute little AI tool that people use all the time to make love texts, love letters and things like that. And boom, now we're ready to go. Starting to understand, we can do WordPress tools, we can do heavy-hitting marketing tools, SEO tools, or we can do fun things like name generators or whatever it is. Starting to see how this works is key, and this is how I found this, is by going through a guy's site yesterday on our call, and we made a domain generator, and it tapped into the API, and I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, this puts us in a next level of marketing. Then what we're going to do is we're going to check the keyword for demand. So you would go through and be like, okay, SEO plugin. Let's see. So I would do SEO plugin. Let's see if people are looking it up. 1,200 people a month looking up SEO. Best SEO, there's that many. It says roughly 4,500 people a month that are interested in a WordPress SEO plugin. Now we're cooking, right? I can make this thing, I can get it going. And the key is start small, build and grow and make it better over time. This is how you do a business. Far too many people are trying to compete with the big dog the way he is now. You don't do that. Like if you wanted to compete with Amazon, you're not going to open a store with 1 billion items. You can't afford to have 1 billion items. What did Amazon do when they started? They started with something small, something narrow, something easy that they could build on. Then they're like, oh, well, let's do cooking supplies now. Oh, now let's do this. And now they sell everything. That's how you build and grow. So looking at this, what can I do simple, maybe even to give it away free and build a mailing list out of? Could I build a WordPress SEO plugin with this API? Next, we're going to go through, we're going to prove it. Look at Reddit, see what people struggle with SEO, Twitter, LinkedIn. Go on there, figure out what people are struggling with. What do they not like about SEO? Is there volatility? Is there things they can do? Where can AI help? Look for complaints, repetitive questions, or tool wish lists. Also, when we're building our foundation, very important that we get some water, a website and hosting. Can you use a free website? You could. Do I recommend it? I do not. Why? I want to brand it. I want you guys to think AI Profit Scoop, high ticket niches, download my notes, affiliate marketing dude. I want you guys to think about my brand. We want to brand this. We want to be in it to win it. I'm not going to let $10 a month stop me from branding my site and my service. So what we would do is we'd go get a domain, set it up. Now, when you get a domain and set it up, the way that we teach over at gohubsite.com, there's instructions on how to do that. If you don't want to use that hosting or you already have hosting, use whatever you got. Tie it to your domain. What that does is it gives you cPanel. cPanel is like this. I could go in, I can edit files, I can do all kinds of things. What you'll see is that everything works on files and everything works in a very strategic way. So now all I need to do is go here and I can make a new file and make a tool. Watch how easy this is. I'm going to show you guys how easy this is. Let's go over to, we'll open a new Gemini. Let's see, Gemini. We'll go new, and I could say, let's make an SEO evaluator tool where the person can put in a URL, competitor URLs, and get an overview of how they can rank better for a keyword or phrase. This will go through and it'll actually do the thinking for you, which is really cool. Like Posted says, best to be a simple minimum viable product than add. Exactly. Start with something small, something that you can get a following for, right? Very, very important. So now we're going to go through and we're going to have this here. Let's see what we got. And so there's going to be two different things here. One, I'm going to show you two things on this call. One, I am going to show you, if I can make this bigger here. All right, we'll just move this over. One, I'm going to show you how to create a file program Okay? 2, I'm going to show you how to make a WordPress plugin. Okay, if you guys learn that, how many of you guys would be like, yeah, this is totally worth this? Like, I would definitely stay here and watch this. It would be worth it. So now what we're going to do, the first one we're going to do is a standalone page. What you want to do, again, with the branding thing, is you want to go through and you want to get the branding from your website. So upload your image, right? Like here, if I wanted to use the Affiliate Marketing Dude logo, I'm going to do copy image link. I'm going to give this here, and here's what it looks like. And I could say now make it white background and put my logo at top and disclaimer at bottom and a spot for a banner ad. Also have a text link for get a free SEO site audit here. That's how you're going to generate leads. That's what's going to make money. Give them a free audit, show them what they can do, offer to do it for them. There you go. So now we're going to go through, we're going to remake this, and it'll show us what it's going to look like. Okay. And now, let's wait for this. Can you think of a software as a service for chiropractors? It depends on what they're looking to do. I mean, there's lots of ideas you can do. It just depends on what those specific people want. Probably marketing would be a good one. So now we have this here, and we're going to create this deal. And let's see here. Kevin says, how does the customer pay for the API usage? Do we charge them monthly? How do we get users? We're going to get into all that. There's going to be a long training. Long story short, when you're looking at how you charge them for the usage, you're not going to. You're going to take the risk of, yeah, I don't think they're going to use $10,000 worth of API credits. One guy will use none, one guy will use a bunch, it'll even itself out. Much like when we put all of our videos, like a lot of you guys notice, a lot of our videos we took off of YouTube and put on our website, actually pay for those. So people who are like, you make money on videos, actually no. If you watch them on my website, it costs me money. And that's through Amazon S3. And we found out that, okay, the amount of people that watch them, it evens out, but you'll see how it works. So now going through here, we have the SEO competitor analyzer. So if I wanted to go through and say GoDaddy appraisal tool or whatever, let's say I wanted to rank for this, I would go in, I would put my website. Let's see if I can find it here, copy link. So I would do keyword or phrase, GoDaddy appraisal tool, something like that. Did I spell it right? Appraisal. I think I spelled it wrong. Let's do this. So here's my URL, and we'll test this out. And again, if you get errors and things like that, don't worry about it. Like, this is part of the process. A lot of people, they just give up too soon, which is why they don't get results. So we got to look at that and be like, okay, what are we going to do? Are we willing to do the work to make this happen? So now we have GoDaddy appraisal tool. Let's get our number one competitor that is not GoDaddy, which is this guy here. Put that in, and you can add other competitors. So this is a pretty cool tool. This is something that would work. You would see like SEO Analyzer. Those are things that people look up. Now it's going to go through. It's going to use the GoDaddy, or not GoDaddy. It's going to use the Gemini API, which it might have a spot for it. You'll see if you just do like Control F API, you can see where it requires the API, and then you'll just put your API in there. Okay? So it should have it in there. We'd have to find it. Let's take a look at if it does a preview. So now it's analyzing the pages. If it doesn't work, that's probably because we have to put the API in. Now, to get the API on Gemini, just do a Google for like, where do you find the API? It'll show you where. Very simple. You'll just pop that in there and you're good to go. Check it out. My page, GoDaddy appraisal tool, description is missing. Keyword and title, yes. Word count. So look at that. It actually goes through and does the work, right? How many of you guys are like, oh my God, that tool is so useful, and you made it faster than I can even put up a blog post. This is what we're talking about. If you guys get this, type next level in the box, let me know, because this is where the rubber meets the road. We got our get a free SEO site audit, our banner ad here. We can have other competitors if I wanted to add others. Let's see how this works. Put the Reddit one in there, right, like this. And let's try a couple of them. We'll try the GoDaddy or Dynadot. We'll put Dynadot in there, right, like this. Analyze. And let's see how this works. Now, while we're waiting for this, let's take a look at like SEO audit. I think this is called an audit, SEO audit. We got, wow, that's more than the SEO plugin. So look at this. This is all SEO audits. You got 139,000 people a month looking up SEO audits. I think that's if you include all this. But that's still like 9,000, 3,000. That's a lot. That's a lot of traffic there. And even if you were just running ads for SEO companies, here you go. Here's your SEO audit. Like, how many of you guys are looking at this and you're like, dude, this is insane. This is something that would actually absolutely work. Now, getting traffic to this, I'll talk to you about how to do that in just a little bit. Very, very important to understand. Now, going through even deeper, when we build this, let's say, how would we make it? Well, all we need to do is get the code here, and like I said, it's super easy. When you go into cPanel, you can create a new file. Let's call this SEO audit .php, right, like this. Create the SEO audit, and we'll go here, edit. It's going to have nothing in it because it's just a blank file. We're going to put that in there. Now, if I wanted to change the links, I would just go in and change the link for wherever that SEO audit request is. So you can just see, get a free SEO audit here. Just change that link, pretty simple. If you wanted to be able to do this in a different way, we actually have a tool that I made with AI as well, which is the WYSIWYG HTML editor thingy. So what you would do is you just do, let's do like this. And then you could put whatever, is it not working? Tools, WYSIWYG.php, did I spell it right? I think I might have spelled it wrong. But what you would do is you just edit that HTML. You can use any HTML editor, and it works pretty good. So understanding this, now you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can make these. And then when I'm done, I hit save, and that should come up right here. Let's do tools/SEO audit. Now it's live on my site. How many of you guys are like, dude, this is insane? Now go through, you do the same thing on your site, and it'll actually work. So if I went through and got all those things here, let's scoot this over so we could just copy and paste. Where is it? Right here. There's ours. Get our link. Boom. Get this one here. Next one. And the last one. And if all goes good, it should work. I mean, this is pretty cool. We have a working tool in seconds that's actually using Google Gemini to get the results. How many of you guys are like, oh, I get it? If you're getting an aha moment right now, and it's like the biggest aha moment you've ever gotten, you're like, oh my God, this is insane. Now, check it out. It is actually working. How many of you guys are like, dude, that's crazy? And then we could say, okay, now have a tool that actually rewrites the content. Now have a tool that does this. Now, let's take it a step further. That's the idea of how to do it here. Let's go through and talk about other ways. Now, when developing our tool, what we want to do is we want to start with something simple, something easy, okay? We want to go through and we want to be like, okay, let's make it work. If I wanted to go through and make an SEO one, I could go here and say, now let's turn this into an SEO WordPress plugin using the Gemini API, where it evaluates a post or page they are on and gives them tips and an SEO score based on what they follow. Let's see, turn it into SEO WordPress. Okay, here we go. So now it's going to turn it into an SEO WordPress plugin. Usually the plugin will not have a preview, so this is a little bit different. right? We want to go through and make that work. Let's see, by next week, building a ClickFunnels. Not a fan of the big clunky tools. I think it's just more pain than it's worth. And I wouldn't ever make a ClickFunnels because I don't want to be responsible for a lot of the content that they put on there. But yeah, you could, like making ClickFunnels today, I think they said it cost them like $4 million or something over the years. Making it today would probably cost a tenth of what it cost then, maybe even less. And understanding this is key. So let's see, unable to create WordPress. Okay, so let's do, I'll start over because again, this is trial and error. You got to go through and you got to make it work. So what we'll do is we'll open a new Gemini and we will do, let's go to here, new chat. We're going to use Canvas and I'll say, let's make an SEO WordPress plugin that does an automatic page or post audit within WordPress and allows the user to put 3 URLs of competitors and the keyword they want, and it, let's see, want, and it will generate a score and tips they can add to the site where they can click, and it puts it in the draft, in the post edit area. Let's see what it comes up with, okay? So now we're gonna go through and we're gonna do this. Victor says, wow, this stuff is over my head. Just sit tight. If you really wanna do it, like this is an opportunity for anyone who really wants to do it to make it work, and it's actually not as hard as you would think. One of our programming people here, she came here like a little less than a year ago, didn't know much about programming at all. She learned this stuff pretty quick. Now, she's pretty smart. Maybe the average person would take a little bit longer, but what I would say is learn one thing well and try it. Because most people get overwhelmed and things are over their head because they don't try it. Like if I went and I tried to ride a bike or water ski or something like that and I read a book on it, that would be overwhelming until you get in and you try to do it. Like if you're like, oh, tilt 30 degrees left, hold rope like this, go over this, go over that, stay behind the boat, whatever it is, that's going to be overwhelming. But until you do it, that's where the key is, right? And when we see, like, I don't know what all this means, right? I know enough to like, okay, where did I put the API? It'll probably have a spot, Control F API, right? There we go. Actual API key I put right here, right? So pretty simple. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through, and this will create all the code, and then it's going to tell you what it needs, right? So it's going to tell you we need a WP Content Plugins directory. So that's why I have this over here. Okay, let's move me over here. Aha, there we are, right? And what I'm doing is I make a folder called plugins. I make a new one. See, this is the Gemini Assist one. This is the code that runs this entire plugin. Pretty simple. Once you understand, like, oh, it's just files. That's all it is. If I break something, I just delete and start over. You do it on a demo site. Like this isn't, I'm not going to do this on my site that's live with a bunch of traffic. I'm going to do this on a demo site. We're going to test it out. Now, going through here, all I would need to do is follow the directions. So here's a plugin folder. So we're going to go over here, and we have SEO Competitor Audit Plugin. Okay, so first, we need a directory. SEO Competitor Audit. Okay, cool. So new folder, okay? SEO Competitor Audit. Do this side by side. It's going to be easier. Not everyone's like me with, I mean, if you saw the amount of screens I have around me, you'd be like, oh my God, this is insane. But not everyone has a million screens, so having it side by side would work, and it works really well. This is why in the new Simple Sites course, we made the side by side where there's AI tools and different things like that. This is a game changer if you get it. A lot of people are going to watch this, they're going to tune out and say, oh, it's too hard. I'm going to go watch a video about making rain videos and getting rich. Yeah, good luck with that. What we're doing is we're making this specific. So now,
create a new folder named SEO Competitor Audit. So I'm just going to duplicate what it says on my computer. Go into the folder. Inside that folder, create the main file, SEO Competitor Audit.php. Okay, cool. So new, we'll do new text document. I can call this .php. Now, it might give me an error, so I'm going to save it over top of it, okay? So it might give me an error. I'm just going to make sure, because sometimes they don't save as PHP. All I do is take all this, Control-A, Control-C, Control-V. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. File save as. I'm going to make sure, see how it got that error? All files. It should create another file over here. Let's see, it should have 2 in here. Oh, good, it didn't. Okay, so the error is fine. So now we have this one. Good. What's the next one? In that file, you also need a folder called JS. New folder, JS. Pretty simple. Okay, let's go to the JS. Over here, this is where you toggle the files. JS should be in here somewhere. Where did it go? Okay. Okay, so we got JS admin scripts.js. So we'll go in here. We'll do new text document, admin scripts.js, and I'm not seeing the admin style, so I would probably go in and see if it'll make it for me. It usually should show here. Okay, please show me the admin scripts.js file. This should show it right here, and then we'll just copy it right over there. So a practice site is live on the internet, yes. I mean, you can do one that's not live, but nobody cares about this site, so nobody's going to find it. A lot of people get hung up on like, oh, I need to make my site private until I go public. I never do that. Like, unless you're doing something weird that you don't want people to see, there's no reason to have it that way. So now we'll go here. This should show admin, so see how it says admin scripts.js, and it should show here too. Now it's got both, good. So sometimes it'll do it automatically, sometimes it takes a minute. So now we take this, admin scripts.js, file save as, make sure we do all files because we don't want it to be a text file, we want it to be a .js. It looks like it might be making them txt. I don't think so though. I think it's okay. Let's see, we'll close some of these here. See if that's it. Okay, it doesn't want to show me the thing there, but I think it's okay. We'll take a look in a minute. Now we have that, okay? And what we're doing is we're just compiling a plugin. So we have admin, we have this one, admin scripts.js. Now we need a style sheet, new folder or new file, text document, admin styles.css. Open this one. Now show me admin style.css, and I think that's all we need. And then I'm guessing we will probably get an error on it. Is the Gemini Assist available on AI Profit Scoop? It is not. It will be. I just made it today, so it will be when we're done with it. Admin style, so here's admin style. Okay, boom, file save as. And we're going to do all save. Okay, obviously make sure that your plugins are secure and everything and not doing anything weird. Usually they're pretty good if you make them this route. So now we have this here. Okay, so let's see what we have. Let's go back to our files. So we got this, admin, good. Okay, now let's go back to our main part. And we should be able to scroll up. So admin scripts, good. So the API key is in WP config. Okay, cool. So that'll be, let's see, in the root of your WordPress installation, replacing your API with your actual Google Gemini API. Add your API. Can we make the API for Gemini in plugin settings so they do not have to edit WP config? Let's see here. this should fix it. And what I want is I just want it easier. The easier, the better. Christine says, in the folder, you right-click the file, choose properties. It should show the entire file name. Yeah, it should. We should be able to do like properties here. Thanks for that. And then you'll see like the type of file. It looks okay. Like it doesn't have that extra .txt, so I think we're okay. We'll know when we upload it, so we should be okay there. So now let's see what it does. Excellent suggestion, make it more user-friendly. Not have to edit, so I'll update the main PHP. So we're going to go back up to the main PHP. We're going to edit it. Here's our main PHP. When it's done, looks like it's done. So here's the audit settings page. Good. That should do this. File save. Now, how many of you guys want to see how difficult it is to make a WordPress plugin, right? All we're going to do is we're going to go over to plugins, add plugin. And we should be able to take this here. Okay, this is our folder with our plugin. Again, there's our SEO, JS, all of this. We're going to go like this, and we are going to compress to a zip. That's all a plugin is a zip. We'll call it like that. We don't need the PHP on there. Now, let's test it. Chances are we might get one that works, we might not. We'll just go back and forth until we get it working. That was on desktop, I believe, and we had it under plugins. Plugins. I know I had it somewhere. Plugins. Where do we have it? Was this on? Oh, it's an API. There we go. So it's under API, plugins, and then we had SEO competitor. Let's see if we get any errors. Okay, so no valid plugins. Okay, so it might be a file name issue. Let's see what we have here. Open with Notepad, file save as. Let's do this and see if it saves different. Okay, let's see here. Now, we could replicate this on our server if we wanted. I think this has a weird version of Notepad, but let's see here. Let's save this. Let's do new folder, test plug, and we'll go like this. And again, this is stuff where people are going to tune out and be like, oh my gosh, you've got to figure this out. I'm going to figure it out because I like the money, right? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to make this work. So test plugin, SEO competitor audit, save. Let's see if that worked. Test plug, properties. Still showing as a text one. Let's try this a different way. This computer is Windows 10 and it's got weird stuff on it with the weird notepads and all that. We're going to do this manually. And the way you do it manually is actually pretty simple. We're going to go into car price alert. We're going to go into WP content. We're going to go into plugins. And we're just going to make this on the site. So if you run into an error, just work your way around it. That's what you got to do. Okay? If you're in it to win it and you're like, hey, I want to make a living, figure it out. Okay? And this is what you do. So we're going to go in. We're going to go folder. Let's call this SEO audit. Okay? Create new folder. Right like this. SEO audit. And then you just replicate the same thing. So we would do new file, rename. Where's rename? Here we go. SEO competitor audit. Rename. Right like that. Create new file. Open. Copy. Edit. Boom. Save. Okay, so there's file 1. We're good. Now, make the folder. It's the same exact thing that we have over here. So we're going to make a .js, create new folder, boom. And I guarantee when you do this, you're going to run into hiccups. You're going to have things that won't work. It'll crash your site. That's why you do it on a demo site. But all you have to do is troubleshoot. That is the key to making this work. If you don't like that, get a programmer. It's not that hard. You can get an outsourced programmer fairly inexpensively. Now we're going to go through, and we're going to do new file, admin scripts.js, and these files need to be exact. Edit, boom, save. There we have that one. New file. Next one is admin styles.css. Rename, boom. Create. copy, edit. It's really all there is to it. Now, if you did everything right, you should be able to go into plugins, and it'll show up. All right, so we should have SEO competitor content. There it is. Right, so that's the same as uploading it as a zip. Same thing. Okay, when you upload new plugins, you'll see them in there. Like, watch. You go here, up, up. These are all the plugins. Looks the same as the plugins here. Like, there they are. Okay? Very simple, very easy. Don't overcomplicate this. Just follow what it says and try it. Now we're going to go through. I'm going to activate this. Fingers crossed for no errors. Hey, no errors. Looking good. Now we have this one here, which we have Settings AI SEO Auditor. Cool. Gemini. So we're going to put our Gemini API key in here. So I'm going to go get that Gemini key, and I'm going to put it in there. And let's see. Here we go. I'm doing it off screen because you should never share your API keys. Not a good idea. Are we back? I think we had a little glitch. I think we're back. Okay, cool. So now we have this here. We have Create Infographic. That's our other plugin. Publish. And let's see. Do we have an SEO Auditor? Gemini Content. There we go. So right here. Yep, where'd it go? I had it there. SEO Auditor. Okay, so now I would go through and I'd see why there's nothing in there. So what I could do, I could either give it a screenshot or I could ask Gemini. So watch, we'll just go in here. And this is building something. By the end of this, I can sell this, right? Like at the end of this training, I can go and I can sell this. So now I'm going to say, let's move me again. There we go. So I'm going to say, under the SEO audit on the post, I see nothing. And it'll probably just edit the main settings page. And what I'll do, this is what I like to do. I like to move these over. So wherever I'm editing this, okay, I'm going to get that one over here. Okay, so here's admin style, so we don't need that one. I'm going to move this way over by Gemini, and then I'm going to have my test site over here too. So we'll put our test site right over here. Okay, that way I know that these are the ones I'm using. Okay, so now it's going to go through. Of course, I see the issue. Looks like we're the settings, actual HTML content. And this should save my API in there. The last time I tested it, every time I updated the plugin, it saved the API. And again, remember, we are making something we can sell. I'm showing you how to make things that you can make money with. It has to do with thinking differently. How can I make this easier, better, faster, stronger, different? How can I make it think differently? Going in there and saying, okay, well, maybe I could do something for budgeting, maybe an AI budgeting tool or whatever. Starting to understand that. And at the end of this, I will give you a list of over 250 different niches you can use this in. Okay, some simple, some plugin oriented, some difficult. Now we're going to go in, I'm going to go into SEO audit, competitor audit, edit. Just going to save that over top, see if it fixed it. We're just going to go back and forth till we get it working. That's all we do. So let's do all post. SEO. Okay, so now we got it. See how it came up there? It's just trial and error. A lot of people aren't willing to do this. They want some, wake up one day and be rich. It's not what it's about. Like, you could do that, apparently, some places. Apparently, every other video teaches you how to get rich without doing anything. Mine, you actually have to do stuff. Sorry. I'm the guru that actually teaches you stuff that works. Going through here, let's do our keyword. Let's say we want to go to all posts, best metal detecting forums. So let's just do metal detecting forums. Okay, and we'll do, there's that. I'll just go to Google and I'll get some competitors. See what we got here. Okay, here's number 1. Boom. Get number 2. Right here. And number 3. And then this will go through and it'll run the audit, hopefully. If it has an error, we're just going to go back and forth. I'm going to make this work. I mean, last time I checked, if you wanted to make a product and take it to market, it's not really going to be, click one button and be done. It takes some work. So we're going to go through, we're going to run this audit. Please provide a focus keyword. Okay, I did have a focus keyword. Why is it not? Okay, so now I go through. and I'd say, I put everything in, and now it's asking for a focus keyword, even though it's already there. Okay? So let's see what happens here. And again, this is where the rubber meets the road. If you want a way to make money online with AI, this is the key. You can't be lazy. You got to go do it. And I think it's not that hard to do. Like, I mean, compared to the old days where people, you know, dig ditches and build houses, we're just sitting here clicking buttons and having AI do our work. I think this is the closest to a lazy business as you can get. So now going through and looking at this, I have some coffee here. And let's see. So this is going to be the settings page again. And we're just waiting for these little spinnies to be done. If you guys are digging this, smash a like button, let me know. And how many of you guys feel like you're actually going to use this? You're like, hey, you know what? This is something I can do. This is cool. It might take some work, right? And that's where, like, hey, if you want to work with me, we got a boot camp coming up that we're going to go all in on these tools because I think this is the biggest opportunity. Cool, it saved them. Run on it. Focus keyword, at least one URL. Okay, so whatever reason, it gave the error again. And this is where most people would give up. Why am I not going to give up? Because this thing can make me some serious cash. All right, let's see here. All right, a lot of people are saying they love tools and they're definitely going to use this. I think this is absolutely key. Okay. Hi, Christine. Yeah, bootcamp's going to be awesome. Go over to downloadmynotes.com. When you get the notes, we'll send you details on bootcamp. We're probably going to have a deep dive call for people that are over on AI Profit Scoop, where we're going to talk more about this, and we'll probably have bootcamp sale on there too. All right, but only after we teach you good stuff. A lot of people are like, hey, you know, you can't sell anything. Well, we teach you good stuff first. So if you appreciate that, I think you'll like this. All right, so now we're going to go through, build this thing up. And again, think about all the tools you can make, like remove background tools. They make a fortune. And when you understand, like now you have the ability to put AI in anything you want. I mean, how many of you guys see the opportunity? Type see the opportunity if you guys see it. So let's wait for this to be done. Let's see here. All right, let's go here. Just wait for it to be done. It's taking its nice little time there, apparently. Okay, there we go. So now we'll take this right over here, and we will put that into this here. I think that's the right one. Just if you want to see the file name, just put that right there, and you can see, oh, there it is. So Control A, Control V, save, and let's see if that did the trick. Okay. It did refresh this, so maybe we're getting closer. Okay, so competitor 1. This is all fun, right? Got to keep doing this over and over. But hey, you know what? This is the testing phase where, like, if I get a working product, this is all worth it, and I'm only in this thing an hour and 10 minutes. I didn't even start building this till now. So, I mean, imagine having a product same day. How many of you guys are like, dude, that would be insane. Like, being able to have this same day is crazy. Run audit. Okay, okay, so it keeps doing that. Have some content in the editor. I'm going to get a screenshot of that. Please provide focus keywords. So I'm going to tell Gemini this. So I'm just going to open this in another thing, and I'm going to type out what Gemini is telling me here. It says, please provide a focus keyword at least one competitor URL and have some content in the editor. I have all these. So we're just going to do like this, okay? It should fix it. Sometimes it takes 5 or 6 passes. Last night when I was building the one that you guys saw, the working one, it took quite a few passes. I was like, okay, but now I have a product I can sell. Claude helped me debug a third-party plugin. Claude can help as well. This one I like using because Gemini knows its own API, which is pretty cool. So if I can build on that, then I'm ready to go. So let's see if it fixes it. Sometimes it just takes a bit, and sometimes if it gets stuck, what I'll do is I'll open a new Gemini, I'll give it the plugin files, and I'll say fix it. That's what I did on the other that worked. Need to deactivate. I don't think that it should work either way without deactivating. Did it tell me to update a JS? I don't think it did. It might have. If it does, we'll fix that too. So what I'll do is I'll have this open, put this over here. I want to be able to read what it says, and I'm going to go here and see if it tells me to do. I'll just replace the JS anyway, just to make sure. Oh, yeah, so it did say that. So here we have our main one. Let's make sure this is our main one, settings page. Okay, so here's the auditor main page, save. Let's edit our JS. It would be adminscript.js, edit. We're going to open it by clicking that. There's our JS. Save. Let's see. I'm gonna put this up in another one just so I don't have to like look these things up. So we'll just do like this. Boom. There we go. Okay. So now, focus keyword. So it does only have one, so that's good. And I'm just going to copy these from this just to save time on the old webinar here. So I doubt you want to see me look up the sites every 5 minutes. So all I'm doing here is this. I'm just copying these. Boom. Boom. And these are little tips that you can use where it's like, okay, I can go through and use these. Okay, is it working? It did something. Okay, so we're getting there. See this? There we go. Check it out. Now, SEO score 68 out of 100, actionable tips, enhance keyword placements and heading. Add to post. Boom, goes through and adds it to our post. Add to post. This is pretty darn cool. How many of you guys are like, dude, yeah, if I could create that in a couple of minutes, we're good. Right? How many of you guys are like, dude, that's pretty cool. You can even have it more fancy if you want. You can have it show up big. Or let's say we wanted to go a step further and say, now make a dashboard widget with an overall SEO score. Let's see if it'll do that. Because what I would want is a widget on the dashboard here that would show like, oh, hey, here's your score, like the site health. Instead, it would be ours, which would be good because like here, you can see the AI Profit Scoop. Now I'm on your homepage, right? We actually made one that was really cool with settings. I think we have it on Explainer video, I believe. Let me see if I have it here. Maybe it was on, was it? I think it was on Explainer video. Let me see if I can get to that one. Or was it on the economics explainer maybe? It's a really cool plugin that we created for our AI Profit Scoop members that tracks the, okay, it's on an old one, but it tracks the visitors. Like it would show real-time visitors, and it had a nice dashboard widget, which I was like, okay, that's cool. I like that because now I have a widget that we can go through, and I'm right there. So now it's creating that. Okay, so that was admin styles, admin scripts, admin styles. This change only affects your existing are perfectly suited. Okay, so we're just going to take the plugin file here, make sure we're doing the right one, up a level, edit, save, boom. That should have added a dashboard widget. There it is. Or no, that's the visitor one. So that's what we made for the visitor trend one. And dashboard widget, where is our SEO? Okay. Let's see, not seeing the widget on dashboard. And what we'll do is we'll just go through and build this up. And if I spent a lot of time building this and making it work, there we go. Let's see, a couple of questions here. Matt says Grammarly integration for plagiarism, and you're killing it. That could definitely work. I think Grammarly, they do have an API. It is something you can use. You can also, if you wanted to do this on the cheap, if you're running all the stuff through your API, you could do this on DeepSeek, which theirs is super cheap. So building and making these is key. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this, get it the way we want it. Whether it's a tool like a static tool, or these are static, but they're also for AI. So we could use a tool like this, which you will see lots of businesses that use that, background tools, content tools, all kinds of things, right? And this is stuff that it helps. There you go. There it is. It actually creates all of the stuff. This is the static version. The other one is keyword strategy, which is actually using the API and creating things for you, which is really cool. So now going through, we're looking at this and we're like, okay, this is starting to make sense. We could build this out, whether it's a plugin, whether it's a tool, whatever it is, we're going to use that. We're going to use our APIs to make good stuff. Then we're going to go through and we're going to monetize and launch it. This is where we set up our website. We go through, we make a site to either sell it or host it. Let's say you're doing, like we had one, I think over like a year ago, we made one with pickup lines, where people can go in and do pickup lines and things like that. And it was kind of a fun one. And we had some dating affiliate offers on there. Having that domain is really what made it work. We can have it all there. You can either charge for it. Okay, now if you're charging for it, this is something you can do with like a member, school. You could use a membership platform, or you could simply just lock it and charge people with PayPal and give them the code for it. There's lots of easy ways to do that. I have made multiple seven figures building these out and having that monthly recurring revenue where they're accessing the tools. It's like having your own setup. Like think about, oh, if you're a realtor, what kind of tool could I make for a realtor? I want to make a tool for realtors where they can put info about a house and get a custom social media post. Let's use the Gemini API. Okay, and this will go through and they could be like, oh, this has 6 doors and 5 windows and 5 patios and 6 pools. It's a weird house. But then it would go through and it would generate a social media post for them, or maybe it'll generate a press release based on their new strategy or something like that. And now what will happen is you'll be able to make these for a specific reason. Now, if it goes through and it starts with React, I'm going to convert that. I don't want to use React. A lot of these tools will use React. I'm going to say make it HTML or PHP so it runs on my cPanel, not React. And it'll switch it up for us. Okay? Christine says, I think he mentioned that on yesterday's call. Yeah, this is an absolute game changer. Okay, and if you find that it's hard to keep up with me, just watch this again. This is kind of thing where, I mean, if you want to do it, you're going to have to keep up. Like, by the time I sit there and teach you, oh, this letter A means that, you're already going to be behind the game. The best thing to do is get in there and try using it. Let's see, did this make any code? Looks like you've asked to create a tool, realtor, blah, 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 blah. Can you make the preview work? Let's see if it makes a preview here. And we're actually going to try something with our boot camp and our high-ticket niche people going forward, where we will be creating at least one tool where we show you how it works. That way you can build it up and make it work. We'll also try out like a sample where it'd be like, okay, here's a sample plugin, like a Hello World kind of thing. I remember when I was trying to learn simple stuff, which I failed at miserably, but I remember that they had this Hello World thing where it was like, here's the test, and if you can edit the test, then you're good to go. And that's really what we want to do is get in there and start building it. Best way to learn, like Captain Ron says, best way to see how it's doing is get it out on the ocean, right? Got to go out there and make it work. Todd says, last couple months you turned me into trying to do this. Cool. Yeah. And you can see info on our high-ticket niches and stuff. The little banner will show that. Okay, let's see here. Real estate social post generator, property address, price, square footage. That's cool. So let's say, one Disneyland, price 500,000, square footage 1,200, bedrooms 8, bathrooms 1. It's a weird house. Key features: nice pool, big yard, sturdy wood. You could see I don't sell houses much, right? So now we're going through and we're like, okay, image URL. You could put an image URL in there, post tone, friendly, generate post. It's using AI. And let's see what we got. But see, this is the game changer because everybody loves that magic word AI. And if you have something they can use, it almost gets traffic for itself. Like I can make a YouTube video and be like, here's a real estate social post generator. People will go use it, right? Just like people, like they create the little, superhero box image of themselves, right? Kind of like that. You can tackle those kind of things. And look at this. Hey, everyone, imagine spending your weekend soaking up the sun by your own private pool. Get ready to fall in love with this charming property at one Disneyland. This home brings a warm, sturdy wood character you adore, paired with big yard. It's pretty cool, right? And then we can see like social media for realtors. I would go through and I would try to reverse engineer this. Let's do keyword, and we could do like AI realtor, AI realtor assistant, how to use AI as a realtor. Let's do AI real estate. Okay, AI in real estate. Good, we're getting there. Let's do AI for real estate agents. Boom, there we go. And the competition's not that crazy. And since you have your own tool, you're going to stand alone. Like this was the easiest traffic I ever got was when I made my GoDaddy estimator tool because GoDaddy was like, oh, you can only look at 3 a day. So I got their API. I put the tool up. It gets me traffic every day, every time I log in. I never log in and not see someone on that page. So now we're seeing here, built-in AI real estate. Let's do something like real estate generator, maybe tool, real estate, slogan generator, name generator, lead generator, company name generator, okay. Real estate flyer, getting there. I can make a flyer generator. That would be cool. Real estate flyer. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. That's got 1,800 searches a month. Let's go to the old Gemini. Is it here? No, that's our SEO one. Go to the old Gemini here, wherever he's at. There we go. Now, let's make it also make a cool flyer with the realtors info and logo, picture, and phone at bottom. A post for Zillow, a tweet, and the flyer for download. Let's see here. Do you guys see how we're building on this and it works? Incredible says 71 billion. Yes, that is the micro AI tool industry worth as of today. It's expected to go higher. 71 billion is what it's at today. Making these little tools, there is a lot of money in this market. Now, will you make any money? Probably not. Most people make nothing. Most people won't get this far. Most people will get this far and not market it. Most people don't do what it takes. Even if you do what it takes, most people fail if it doesn't work right away. This is a business. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. But guys, you have AI. I've been doing this 25 years. In my opinion, it's never been easier. I wasn't able to make this stuff 5 years ago. I had to have a programmer. I wasn't able to make this stuff 10 years ago, 3 years ago. I wasn't able to make this 5 minutes ago without the API. And by 5 minutes, I mean like yesterday. Now that we have the APIs, it's doing everything for you. Ty says, how do we know what people are already doing and selling, how much they're selling, so we can try to emulate that so we follow something that's already proven? So what you're going to do is you're going to ignore what other people are doing. You're going to look at the data of what people want. Because, like, okay, the guy who invented the pet rock, okay, if I reverse engineer that and I make a pet rock, I'm going to fail. Why? It was a fad. It worked at the get-go. There was a lot of variables. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, do people want this? That's why I went in and I said, I want real estate flyer. That's what they want. They want real estate flyers. Now I know, okay, if they have that, I can give that away free, and then I can get them into, because what do they really want? Does anyone want a real estate flyer? No. They want to sell houses. They want to get more customers. That's what they want. So I'm going to give them the flyer. It's the give them what they want, sell them what they need. What do they need? They need to learn to sell. They need to learn how to not be bad realtors. They need to learn how to make the flyer actually work. This is where you're getting it. Now, if I went out there and I tried to emulate, this is where, like, watching startup videos and stuff like that, it's fun and it's cute, but a lot of people are trying to reverse engineer what's there now. Like, let me copy what's going on now. Let me copy Amazon now. Let me copy Alex Hormozy now. Let me copy ClickFunnels now. No. That's not what you do. You start small. If you try to copy them the way they are, that's not going to look at the data. We're going to look at the data and say, okay, I can make the best real estate flyer generator on the market. That I can do. Now, how do I build this out? Okay, now we got this. It'll create all this stuff. Boom. Hey, look at that. Zillow, tweet, flyer. There you go. Here's a flyer. I mean, how many of you guys are like, dude, this would serve those 1,800 people? Okay, and if I can get 1,800 realtors, which I'll probably get more, if I can get them in, I can sell them real estate websites, SEO services. I could sell them tools on how to be better realtors. I could lead them to all kinds of things. How many of you guys are getting this? See how we're reverse engineering from the keyword? Because that shows demand. Because I can serve that one thing. And building this, now we're ready to go. I mean, this just builds it up. And you could say, generate marketing kit. Boom, there you go. And I can go through and I can think about what they want. What other things would they want other than real estate? And I could build an entire business off of real estate tools. If I have all these tools on my site, I'm going to get traffic. If I get traffic and they are realtors who want more business, if I'm not making money, I'm the worst marketer in the world, because that is worth money. Okay, any questions on that? Let's take questions, because I want you guys to understand that, because I think Ty brought a good question of, like, how do we know what they're selling? How do we know what other people are doing? And I think that is it's a tangent where what we want to do is we want to focus. How to in 60 seconds says, how do you rank in Google? Good question. What you're going to do is you're going to look at what already ranks in Google. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to do real estate flyer. I'm going to look it up in Google, and I'll tell you what it has, just because I don't know what's going to show up. So real estate flyer has a bunch of images, okay? Canva, Zip, Post, Adobe, video. So this looks pretty good, okay? So what I would do is I would make videos showing how my tool works, right? So what do I do? I go over here, I build this out. So you want to rank on Google, you're going to do it with video. Okay, you make a little faceless video, and you're like, hey, my name is whatever, and today over at Real Estate Flyer, we're going to build this thing up. And I would go get a domain. So, I would use Spamzilla, see if there's a good domain. Let's do real estate or something like that. And if I can't find that, like if there's not a domain with rankings, I would probably try to get something easy. And let me see, real estate. And let's just check GoDaddy real quick. Everything wants to be slow today. Excellent. Real estate. So I could go here, look at Spamzilla, see if there's anything for real estate. And I could even buy these for clients, which would be pretty cool. Oh, there we go. Get a code so I can go into my GoDaddy here. And if you guys appreciate these like real examples where we're like building this stuff up, let me know. I think that's key. So let's put this over here. And okay, let's see. So now we'll get this here. Okay. So we could probably get something related to real estate flyer or real estate promo or something like that would be good. And then what I would do is I'd make a whole kit for that. Like, okay, let's get a logo for it, build it out. Bada bing, bada boom, there we go. Let's do real estate. Just try to find something. Actually, we could go through, we could use ChatGPT for this. Let's do new chat. I have a site for real estate flyers and promo tools. Come up with 100 domain ideas, all.com, all short. And what I could do is I could find them pretty easy, and then I'll just do like the GoDaddy bulk tool. GoDaddy bulk, search. Okay. Now put all in one code box, no numbers, no headings. There's a couple in here that look pretty good. And this is literally what I do when I'm building businesses. And I'm like, okay, how can I make this work? Very simple, not overcomplicated, just make it work. And then I'll just run them in, let's see, GoDaddy bulk. Where did GoDaddy bulk go? I thought I had that open. GoDaddy bulk domain search. There we go. So we'll just take this list, put it in GoDaddy bulk, search. This will show me what's available. Then I'll get a good brand name. So we got pad picture. Let's see, snap my pad, printed Realty Blast. That's not bad. Market and Move, Pitch Sparks, Promo Plug. Let's see. Just Listed Hub, Flyer Pros. That could work, something like that. Sold Fast Kit. That could work. Flyer Push, Flyer Push. That's easy, right? So I would just do like Flyer Push, and I could even do flyers for other businesses and type them into marketing. So what I would do is I'd be like, okay, now make a cool logo for Flyer Push about making flyers with AI. Okay, and then I could just make this whole thing like a flyer generator, because people who want flyers want business. So that's what you're doing, right? You just build it out. Let's see. Marcus, can I still do this programming on a Mac? Yes, TXT files is pretty much all you need. And you can even do it on your server. Like a lot of this we did on a server, so it will not matter. Can you do all three and sell and customize, or do you just give them the code and they put it on their site? So the code is on your site. Like the flyer generator I own on my site. I'm going to brand it with my logo. I'm going to make it good. I'm going to build it up. Okay? Then, like, you could, when you start to think about where you can go with this, you could do now have all the stuff branded, made with Flyer Push or whatever, right? And then you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. This is working. And bada bing, bada boom, we're ready to go. So let's see here. Right, like that, it'll brand it. And let's see if it brands it. So the key is to go into a niche and then look at Ahrefs. So you're going to look for tools you can make, and I'm going to have a list of all the tools that are there with Ahrefs info, like traffic info, and we're going to show you where all these are. Okay, so now let's go here. So now it's going to say built with. It'll build this out. And then when we're done, we're just going to put it on our site, and then we promote it. And you could go in realtor forums and be like, hey, check it out. Use the tool. They'll love it. This is a helpful tool. Having a tool eliminates the barrier of I have nothing to get traffic with. This is a traffic magnet times 1,000. And now, let's see, create. Let's see here. And it should have the generator there. Okay, it didn't understand me. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it did. Made with flyer push. See? There you go. And other people will use it, which is pretty cool. Now let's say I don't necessarily just, let's say, have an option to download as PNG also for the flyer and socials. Okay? Then what we'll do is I would just get my branding. I'm fine with that. Now I would change this a little. So let's see if I have this here. Hold on one second. So I would just get a snapshot of this. Boom. I'm going to go through and I'm going to make this true white. Actually, I like that in gray. That's kind of cool. We'll make these white. Make sure like the little spots here. Okay, then we're going to do file save as. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this because I want it smaller. So I'm going to take flyer push. And if you're not yet in AI Profit Scoop, like this is what we do every week is we build businesses out for ourselves and other people. So if you like this stuff, check that out or join High Ticket Niches where we build it. All right, so now we'll do like this. Let's shrink this up. Right, like that. Got to have sound effects, right? And then we'll do file save, flyer logo. It's on desktop, flyerlogo.png. Great. So now all I got to do is go to my tools. And again, if I was on my actual site, like the flyer push one, I would just upload this there. Okay? I don't have anything up on it yet because I just bought it. You guys just saw me get it. But if I wanted to make this on, let's say, AI Profit Scoop, I would just go upload. I'm going to upload that file. Pick, I think it was desktop. And it was over here. Let's see, flyer logo right there, okay? Then it'll tell you where it's at. So we got aiprofitscoop.com/tools/flyer logo.png. Boom, there it is. Give this to Gemini. Now put my logo at top and a disclaimer at bottom, and a link to a free real estate sales webinar. Boom. Now they're all going to go to my webinar. It's like, there we go. I need the whole link, so that's not going to cut it. I need this entire link. Copy. Hopefully it'll get that. If not, we'll have to type it in manually. No, is that, let's see. There we go. All right, so now it'll fix it with my logo. And you guys can see building these things is super key. And this is B1 that I would use for free traffic. Because, I mean, if I get realtors and they use this stuff, then we're good to go. Are you going to do any software as a service today? This is part of it. So like a plugin would be software as a service. Or what I could do is I could have Pro Tools in a members area. So software as a service is basically a members area with tools. That's all it is, right? Like you look at ClickFunnels, it's like, okay, that's software as a service. It's a bunch of different tools compiled in one thing. That's all it is. A lot of people think that it's, crazy, but it's like, no, it's not that hard to do. So the key to this is finding the niche and then go to Ahrefs, reverse engineer, make a tool. Yes. All right. Can we rank a tool without putting any content? You can, yeah. I mean, I would put instructions. Right, like on mine, you guys will see we rank for GoDaddy appraisal tool. So this is one of the tools I have. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I actually do what I teach you to do. You can see with our GoDaddy appraisal tool, we rank on Google right down here, okay? And what we did is we had the tool. So this is an iframe of the tool. And then I have a video and some content showing how to use it. So that's about it. Took me like, 20 minutes to make the content, but it was actually not that hard to do. Okay, so now with yours, you're actually making AI tools, which is crazy good. So now I could just take this, copy, okay, and then put that, let's do tools, and I just do new file, flyer, push.php, create, edit, and if all's right with the world, we should have AIProfitScoop.com, tools, flyer, push.php, and it should work. Okay, so we got an error. We need to get it out of React. So let's go here, real estate sales webinar. Please make HTML or PHP, not React. Also, where do I put my Gemini API? AI or human written content? Do a mix of both. Like, I'm a big fan of AI assisted content. So like you use AI to assist your content, much like we had with the plugin, where the plugin goes through and writes the content for you. It's assisted based on questions you ask and a format and a flow and everything like that. So, I mean, make it work. Like, put it up. If it doesn't rank, maybe try human content. Like, do what you got to do to make it work. This is what a lot of people want, is they want one answer where it's like, how do I rank in Google and make $1 million tomorrow? Well, those are like 4 different things, right? How do I rank in Google? That's one. What keyword? What are you trying to do? How do you make it work? Okay, great. How do I make $1 million? Well, you need to make about $3,000 a day. What are you going to do to make the $3,000 a day? Can I get a bunch of realtors in here and sell them affiliate offers or whatever it is? Very, very important. Have I tried using AI to make a domain appraisal tool? I have not yet. Like I said, I just started using these APIs with Gemini yesterday. I think I've gotten pretty far so far. It's looking pretty good. But using this, now we should be able to convert it into HTML and build it and grow it. And we can even do like something like, oh, hey, pick a domain or whatever. And then there we go. Let's see if this converted it. Yes, it did. Now it's HTML. So now we should be able to just paste it right over this here, edit, save, reload. Boom, now we're in business. See how easy that is to make a tool? Now, again, if you wanted software as a service, okay, what other tools could I offer? Let's do, what other marketing tools can I make for realtors? Think SEO, list builders, ECT. And it'll go through and it'll give us some ideas, and what we'll do is we'll build that up. And you can even go through and use your tool and be like, okay, for realtors. Okay, now this will isolate, but lead generation, websites, CRM, best laptop for realtors, all kinds of things like this. Are you guys starting to see how to think like a business person rather than just going out there and making things because some guru told you to make them? What we want to do is we want to back everything up based on data and say, okay, how can I make a real estate AI generator? Or maybe I can sell them websites. It's 700 people a month that are looking for a real estate website. If I know what I'm doing and I can build them, hey, I could build them free and get paid hosting. Like, hosting companies pay anywhere from $50 a sale to $300 a sale. I mean, okay, you sit there and you build a website for the day, you get $300 commission and they get it free. That's a pretty good trade. Or maybe you charge them for it, like $1,000 for a good website. This is how I built my business. Or maybe you can make an AI tool or whatever it is, and you start to understand, wow, there's lots of things that these people are looking up. Maybe you have a commission generator, SEO for realtors. There you go. Boom. When you look at this, $6 a click. If I have a tool that does that free, I am now getting free traffic in a market that people are paying $6 a click for. This is where you start to understand all these different things, marketing for realtors, stuff like that, right? Maybe videos for realtors, how to use AI video in real estate marketing. And when you start to understand, we're compiling all this together and we're doing it in a specific way. If I was doing it for my explainer video site, okay, could I make tools for this? Okay, let's go through and let's make a tool for it. I could go and say, Gemini, new, let's make a tool using the Gemini API that takes a topic, understands the intent, and then creates an explainer, video outline, script, and instructions. Let's see what comes up here. And then we just brand it and we build it, and I can have a bunch of AI tools for faceless video channels. As you guys know, you're here on YouTube, that content does make a lot of money. So now we're starting to understand the web in a different way, like a business person, where we're like, okay, this is where this goes, this is where it builds. We could do plugins, we can do tools. I would say start with something free, okay? Start with free, and then get them into paid stuff. Why? Because you could test your market. You could see what they like. You could get some traffic. Build a mailing list. Then when you come out with your paid one, you're going to have a following. So now we'd say, what's our topic? How to make a real estate flyer. Okay, generate script. See what comes up. Looks like it's hard at work there. Some people will say that you will get hit using AI to generate content. That's not true. Absolutely not true. AI content ranks like crazy. What they want is good content. Check this out. Here's your explainer video script and accompanying materials for how to make this. And here's the deal. How many of you guys have looked at or copied or tested AI prompts? Watch this. AI prompt. And maybe you got a good prompt and you forgot about it. A lot of people looking for prompts, right? It's a huge business. Now, you embed the prompt in the tool, show them instead of using the prompt, use this tool, which does a sequence of prompts. I have a friend who started a company, or she was the CEO or whatever of a company that made AI content, and it was using the API calls. That's all it was doing. Right, there you go. Lots of tools are based on ChatGPT. Lots of tools are based on Gemini and other ones. And if you start to understand, oh, now I see how this works. And you start to understand, oh yeah, there's lots of people looking for all kinds of different prompts. I can make a tool about it. Is a tool or plugin best for money? Depends on your market. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. You have to look at what your market wants. Like, can I sell a tool to people who want a tool? Yeah. Can I sell a plugin to people who want a tool? Yeah. Either or. What you need to do is you need to pick a direction. So going back to our outline here and looking at how it works, your minimum budget for this, I would say between tools and everything, you're probably going to be around $30 a month. I would say set up a 4-week timeline where you validate your idea, buy your domain, just like we did today for the flyer one, build a minimum viable product with the Gemini API, create a website, pricing plans, free option, launch it. You can either launch it on a place like Gumroad, or you can launch it on AppSumo, Code Canyon, all kinds of places like that, which is really cool. And then we go through and you can sell. Like we all saw with Bill Gates, how did he get rich? He put Microsoft DOS on every computer people bought. Then when you said, now I have Windows, everyone bought it. Now he's got a lot of money. He does okay for himself. And so you start to look at that. Now, pro tip, start small, like an Instagram caption generator or a cold email rewriter. Validate the traffic, get feedback, add features later. A lot of people are going to try to build a giant tool before even testing the market. We want to go through and test the market and make it work. Gemini API, here are some things it can do. Let's see, we have a list of things it can do. Content, okay, so we have what it uses for content creation, customer service, software development, data analysis, education, accessibility, language stuff, Google AI Studio. You could even do text, images, audio, and video. So thinking about like, oh, wait a minute, this could be the same one that runs on Notebook LM. Like I could tap into that. Very, very cool. And starting to understand that. Someone says, which API is cheap? There's cheap ones, there's free ones. I'm going to use the one that makes what I need it to do, right? So what do I need it to do? That should be it. Far too many people are like, how do I start a business cheap? Well, what business are you starting? And should you start it cheap? Like some businesses should not be started cheap. Some take money. You just gotta roll with it. And looking for these one-size-fits-all answers where it's like, what is the best platform to make money? Well, I mean, what exactly? Find your niche first. That's why our high-ticket niche program is so important, because no matter what you're trying to do, we're starting with that base. Here's your market, okay? Do you need Gemini Pro to do this? I think probably at least a paid version, which is $20, I believe. So yeah, AIProfitScoop.com, I'm gonna have notes and everything. Here are some examples of what you can do, and I will have this list at AI Profit Scoop as well. AI blog post title generator, social media generator, ad copy generator, email subject line generator. And what you'll find is all of these are going to have searches. And when you start to understand, hey, wait a minute, email subject, boom. Email subject line examples, generators, resignation. You could have a resignation email generator with AI, right? And then have a little button that's like, click here to collect unemployment or get a new job or whatever it is. Very, very important to look at that. So starting to look at that is key. When we create a tool, when can we expect the traffic? You could get it instantly. Go make a video about your tool, post it up. You could literally get traffic instantly. Or you could do paid traffic. Or you could joint venture with a person. There's so many options when you have a tool. You have to just look at it and say, what am I willing to do to promote this? That's where the rubber meets the road. If I have a good flyer generator, what am I willing to do to get traffic to it? Most people are willing to do nothing. They're like, I'm not going to make a video. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. What am I going to do? You have to look at it and really focus. Also, some other things you can do. A paraphrasing tool, content summarizer, SEO tools, video script, meme generator. Okay, that could be like a fad. However, I have a buddy that makes a lot of money with memes. I made a lot of money with smiley faces and emoticons and things like that. So there are ways to make money in these markets, even though it's not like selling it, right? I never sold anything in the smiley face market, made me over 7 figures. Hashtag generator, testimonial rewriter, case study generator, on and on we go. Landing page copy, you can embed that into WordPress, right? If you go in and you look at WordPress tools, you just make a better one. WordPress plugin. And it'll show you SEO, membership plugin, backup plugin. I mean, there's tons of stuff you can do. Just think about what you can do to make it for a select audience. Can I make a real estate WordPress plugin or this or that? Press release writer, content calendar, variation generators, call to action, and on we go. You got productivity, development, design, e-com sales, fun tools. You could do like the, date idea generator, love letter generator, fun text generator, different things like that where you're looking at, okay, what could be really fun and work really well and get me traffic. And if you nail it really good, if you get a really good one and promote it well, it can work extremely well. Is 900 searches worth it and how? Well, it depends. Right? Are 900 searches worth it for someone looking for a love letter generator? Probably not. That's probably not going to be it. However, are there subcategory keywords? Are there other things you can do? When we look at real estate flyers, okay, that's a narrow-ish looking market, real estate flyer. Okay, it's a little narrow, 1,800. Competition's not that bad, but there's subcategory words. So we got 2,400. Okay, those are realtors. Realtors spend money. That can absolutely work. Where do these tools listed? I mean, I would put them in front of the audience. So like go find who wants this tool, put it in front of them. Go to real estate Facebook groups and show them the tool. Hey, here's this free tool I made where you can make these, all of that stuff. The notes, all of these notes here, including some keyword reports and some sample tools, will be available at downloadmynotes.com or aiprofitscoop.com. Either one, you just put your info there and we'll send them to you when ready. Best API, Gemini, OpenAI, or DeepSeek. Again, depends on what you want to use it for. I find that Gemini is the easiest to work with. For whatever reason, it just understands how to make tools with its own API, which I like. It's probably in between ChatGPT and DeepSeek's pricing. DeepSeek is going to be the cheapest. But again, what is it you're looking to? If I was making a sales letter generator, DeepSeek nails it for sales. So I would use DeepSeek. If I was doing video, I'm going to use Gemini. It's the only one that does video. If I was going to do generic run-of-the-mill tasks, I would use ChatGPT. So don't look at it as like price conscious. Look at it as what do I want this tool to do? Okay, that's the important part, because if you know what you want your tool to do and you look for the best way to do that, that's the key, okay? When you look at this like a business person, like, okay, can I make a domain generator, a band name generator, right? Okay, here's how to promote your band or something like that. And starting to understand that these tie into business things. These tie into things that people buy, things they want. Explainer, video script generator, or whatever. Very important. Is Gemini better than Bolt New? They're two different things. Gemini is more of a general coding, video, audio, text. Bolt is for scripts on websites. So, you know, what do you want to use them for? A lot of people are looking for, hey, what tool makes the most money? Well, right now, none of them do. Unless you own ChatGPT and you sell it, like, they're making money. I don't think they're profitable, but they're making money. That's how you would make money with a tool. Now, for us, we need to look at what we're going to use the tool for. Like, if you came up to me and you're like, which of these tools will make me money? And you got like a hammer and you got a drill and whatever. It's like, well, none of them. You need to learn how to build a house. That's what I'm showing you today. Here's how to build a house. Okay? Now, can you use a hammer to build a house? Sure. Can you use a screwdriver? Sure. You have to look at that and understand this is about building that house, building that business. That's why this is not for the lazy. This isn't for the person who's like, I copied this code and made $1 million. No, you copied a code that makes $1 million and you make nothing, but you have a really cool tool. Go sell it, and then let's talk. We need to understand how to take this to market. And that's where the rubber meets the road, and that's where business is built. Understanding, hey, how do I turn this into a business? What are other people doing? How do we build it? How do we grow it? And that's the key. And so looking at that, again, we will have the notes over at aiprofitscoop.com. If you want to work with me, we'll have info over there on how to do that as well. I think these tools for the right people that are willing to do the work, I think it's going to set you apart from a lot of the competition, and it's going to give you something that you can actually sell and use. Building a WordPress plugin, it's not as hard as it used to be. Making a flyer tool, not as hard as it used to be. And the fact that you can use these and brand them as, hey, this is an AI-powered tool, complete game changer. Never before have we been able to do something this fast. That's why I think this is time sensitive. This is why now is the time to learn this. Now is the time to build and grow, because more people catch on, the harder it's going to get. And I think that right now, there's a lot of gaps in here where people still don't understand the difference between prompting and having a tool, right? Like, what are a lot of these tools? Well, you know, like in video, all right, they make a lot of money. It's a series of prompts and tools and things that plug into different APIs and all this stuff, and they make a lot of money with it. And starting to understand, oh, wait a minute, now me, like when people come to me and they're like, well, which API is 20 bucks? I'm like, you could program whatever you want and you're worried about 20 bucks? Like, if I'm going to build a business, I remember when I first started, I invested in things I knew would work. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed, but I knew certain things, like if I invest in learning and going out there and selling stuff, if I get a sale, I get money. That's pretty transactional. That's pretty quick. If I build a plugin and I can go sell it or market it properly, Okay, that's going to make sense. That makes my $20 AI subscription well worth it. And when you start to understand and think differently, right? Stop thinking about what you want. Oh, I want to make 10 grand a month. Everyone comes to me and says, I want to make this, I want to make that. Fine, great. Until someone knocks on your door and says, I want to give you 10 grand, and it ain't going to happen. Last I checked, I don't think Mr. Beast is out there. So looking at this, we have to go through and we have to say, what value am I going to provide to the marketplace to get my $10,000 a month? What does that look like? Well, can I give good value and make good tools to real estate people? Yeah, I probably could. Could I make $10 a month worth of tools and values? Yeah. Okay, so now I just need 1,000 people to sign up. Or maybe I'll charge $100. Now I only need 100 people to sign up. And starting to look at this is key. Also starting to look at how things grow. Right? Because you have to understand it's not about that beginning tool, right? Like when you go and you get ClickFunnels, it's not about the $97. They don't care about that. It's about $297. It's about now you're paying for a mailing list with 5,000 people and your account costs $10,000 a month. Or for me, we have our AI Profit Scoop, $17. Doesn't even pay payroll. Like, it doesn't even pay the payroll. We have about, I think, 900 members in there right now. All right? It's good. It's a nice little chunk, helps out, but what am I after? I'm after the fact that the people on those calls upgrade to other things, okay? And it wasn't even that hard to do. We built it up to 900 people in about 2 months. Wasn't that difficult. What do? I give them a lot of value, give them a lot of things that they want. Scrolling says 10K is not enough. Well, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to make 100K, break it down. What would you need? Well, you'd need 10,000 members. That'd be what? Or 1,000 members, something like that. You do the math. 10,000 would be like 170 grand a month. But starting to understand, this is about value you provide. Okay? You could provide a little value to a lot of people, or a lot of value to a little people. Or, my favorite, provide a lot of value, or a little value to a lot of people, so little to lot, then, let me move me, there we go, then out of the lot of people, you will get a little people that'll pay you a lot. That way you get the best of both worlds. And the way to find them is get all these people here. And how do you do it? When you market this, what do? So let's say I go out there and I have this real estate flyer tool, real estate flyer. Okay, how would I market this? Well, I'm going to go through and I'm going to do sideways marketing. Okay, so I got real estate flyer here, which is like, okay, real estate flyer, whatever, big deal. You got 1,800 people a month, 4,000. Okay, that's cool. It's a good start. You got 12,000 actually, so that's not bad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, list 100 little softwares and tools realtors use to market themselves. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create content around all of this stuff. Okay? So I'll be like, how to use Canva for realtors, how to use Animoto for realtors, how to use CapCut for realtors. What's going to happen? Realtors are going to flock to me. And they'll be like, hey, check it out. I made this cool little flyer thingy. Oh, cool. Here we go. They'll put their name and email to get it. I'll market all this other stuff. And you'll start to see, now I have content that would work like crazy. Say you have a video tool. What do? You talk about all the other video tools. Here's how this one works. Here's how this one works. Be an affiliate of them too. You can make money that way. This is how you start to build a real business rather than just, oh, hey, I'm making a content site, or I'm making a faceless video about Samson and Goliath and, Bible, whatever. That's, sure, if you want to make a quarter, I want to make a real living. And the way to do that is to make a real business. And the way to make a real business is to find something and do it well, and do it so good, make a tool that's so good, you don't feel bad sharing it. Like, I want a tool that's like, hey, I go on social media, I share this, I don't feel bad because I know that you are going to get value about this. I don't feel bad promoting this webinar because I know I have value. I don't feel bad promoting my tools because I know that they have value. Far too many people, yeah, you feel like garbage because you're out there, sharing things on social media that they go, oh, here's my ClickBank link. Nobody cares about that. Make a tool that inadvertently promotes your ClickBank thing, and then be like, hey, check it out. What what workout style should you use? Use the tool. Oh, now it goes to the thing. Starting to understand it's about value first. And I think every guru under the sun talks about value, but they don't talk about what it is. They don't talk about, okay, what does value actually look like? Is it a webinar? Is it a tool? Is it this? Or is it something they pull out of their hat because, oh, this is valued at $36,000, but if you buy it today, it's only $9. Yeah, right, get out of here. You can go somewhere else. We know that that's not value. Value could be a simple prompt, a tool, a generator, a compiler, right? We made one earlier, the Pinterest one, which is crazy good, and we made this tool. I think it was Pinterest PowerPoint. Maybe is that one? Yeah, so it was a tool, and this is the basic version. We have a better version where you drag a PDF from Manus AI. It's a slideshow. You drag it in here, it makes an image out of each of them that you can use to post. Works like crazy, right? I think, let me see if I have an example. It might take a while to do it in Manus, but it was a very specific tool for a very specific reason. Okay, this one will be small. So I made this one here, and let me see what the other, I think it was called PDF-image maybe? And I want to show you this because this is value, pdf-image.php. That one? Which one is it? PDF convert? PDF convert, maybe. Convert. PHP. So this is a simple value one. Watch how this works, okay? So you go into Manus, you're like, hey, create me a slideshow. A lot of people want slides and social media posts and things like that. Creates a nice little slideshow. You download the slideshow here. It'll make a little PDF. You drag that here. I think it's drag and drop. Let's see here. We'll drag this right over here. Right there. And it's going to take images out of each one. And not only that, watch what happens. We can go through and brand it. AI Profit Scoop. www.aiprofitscoop.com. Now it's going to brand each and every slide, and boom, there you go. Made this tool with AI. See, now you got these little slides, and if we open it here, I'll just open it here. You can see what the image looks like. It's got my branding on it. Bada bing, bada boom, there we go. Super simple. And when you understand, okay, that's value, now you're starting to see the difference. Okay, how much, too much value, have trouble keeping up. Watch this video again. Watch it several times. As soon as we're done, it should be on the same page. You should be able to just reload the page and it'll show the replay. How can we tell what small biz niche or gen niche pays the most on average for software monthly? Don't go for the most. Like, if you want them to pay the most, you're going to need a really good software. I want something basic and simple. Like, who cares if I get $7 from 1,000 people versus $70 from 100 people? I'm making the same amount of money. And if I have the 700 or the 100 people, I can upsell them more stuff. Start small. Build it small. Forget about the charging and the pricing and stuff like that. Make it a good tool. Charge a fair price. Get a bunch of people to use it. Build and grow. That is how you build a business. That's how you make tools that actually work. Tapping into AI APIs is an absolute game changer. I'm super excited about this. I think it works very, very well if you understand the power of what you have. And by power, everyone here has access to some of these tools, right? I used Gemini. The only time I had to actually pay for the API was when I wanted it to make an image. Up until there, it worked with the text. I don't know how long it worked, but it worked with the text. And that was something I can take to market. It wasn't even charging me. So now understanding this is absolutely key. And this is something where you can build an actual business and grow. So hopefully you enjoyed this training. Check out aiprofitscoop.com for the notes, tools, and demo tool that we made, and I'll have a demo plugin and stuff. It's not there yet. We'll send it out when it's ready, but that's all over there. You can also join AI Profit Scoop. Super inexpensive, lots of good tools. We have calls every week to help you out and help you make money. Thanks for watching. Smash a like.